The purpose of this show is to guide you to realign with habits that get you to live the life you've always dreamed of. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with Jesse Ewells. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle, where you can access your full potential right now. Finally break free from destructive habits. That dream life, if you want it, you can have it. This is where you transform your health, mind, business, and relationships. Or do nothing and keep your life the way it is. But if you're ready for change, you're in the right place. This is where you're gonna learn how to live a habit-based lifestyle. You are tuning in to the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with your host, Jesse Ewells. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle.
Welcome back to the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast. I'm your host, Jesse Ewells, and today we're going to be talking about slavery. So much in the world is going on right now that we are, hearing things come up, such as slavery, Black Lives Matter, all of these things. But the one thing I want to talk about today, and the one form of slavery I want to talk about today, is mental slavery. See, we are living in a world today where people are screaming for fairness. People want to be treated equal. People want to stop being victims. But what has this done? See, for so long, we hear things like, my people have been, in slavery for 400 years. They've been trapped. They've been treated unfairly, and I'm not going to deny they have or they haven't. But the one thing that I want this to come to, whether you are a white, black, Asian, whatever race you are, we are all trapped in a place of mental slavery. What does that mean? The greatest enemy that you will have to deal with on a day-to-day basis is not racism, is not any of these things, but it's the man in the mirror. The man in the mirror is the greatest enemy that we will ever have. See, every day, this man, this woman talks down to you, tells you you're not good enough, tells you you don't matter, tells you that you can't speak up. And so what happens in this place is we wait for permission. We wait for permission for a circumstance, for something that we are going through before we give ourselves the permission to speak. And if you think about what's been happening in the world, whether it doesn't matter what side you're on, none of that matters. What matters is that we have all been trapped in a form of slavery at some point in our life, our entire life, or we just don't know anything different. And I think the best demonstration of that is a quote from Bob Marley where he says, "Listen, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds." And so what ends up happening is I truly believe we wait for someone else to save us. We wait for someone else to save or to free our minds. And I want you to imagine yourself in a prison. And this prison has bars all the way around it. This prison is dark. It kind of smells. It's cold. It's all of those things. But imagine that prison is existing into your own mind. Like it's literally built into your head. See, this prison that we have has stories. It has thoughts. It has, dark feelings, emotion. It has rage. It has anger. It has all of these things that we've compartmentalized into a form of mental slavery. And what do I mean by mental slavery? This is a place where we go where we feel trapped. This is a place where we go where we feel like we can't speak. This is a place we go where when someone says something, it may trigger us and force us back into this mental slavery, this prison that we have built for ourselves. And so oftentimes inside of here, what exists is the stories that we've heard. The stories that we've heard growing up. And even now, like when you hear people say, well, listen, my people have been suppressed for 400 years, my community, the police and all those things. And there's no denying things like that have happened. And I really believe they've happened on both sides. But let's just say that, hey, all of these things have happened, but have they happened to you? Have they happened in your life experience? Have they truly done this, or have they pushed you into this mental slavery? Because I think a lot of times we hear stories about the past. We hear beliefs. We've been taught certain things in our life that when we hear these things, it pushes us back into this prison that we've built. And many of the prisons that we build in this place are the thoughts we have about ourselves, the stories we have about ourselves, the beliefs we have about ourselves. And these are things that we're going to constantly battle with throughout our whole life. And when things come up like they have today, like, Black Lives Matter, the COVID-19, these things give us permission to speak. They give us permission to step out of that mental slavery and to, express our thoughts, express our feelings, express our emotions and all of those things. But this is a trap many times because we have needed something to get us angry, to get us pissed off, to get us this way so that we step out of this. And what I want to walk you through today is how do we actually step out of, the mental slavery that we've put ourselves in, whether it be through our parents, whether it be through our beliefs, whether it be through, religion, whether it be through just our own way of thinking and how we feel about ourselves. And so I really want to work on today, how do we step out of this place? I don't care what race you are. I don't care what religion you are. What I care about is, listen, hey, we've all been through things in our life, and I will never discount what someone has been through. But if you speak from your own experience, that is the number one way that you can begin to free yourself. I always truly believe that, hey, if we're speaking from someone else's experience, this is a great way for us to keep trapped in a story, in a belief, in a pattern, in a thought. The number one way that you can begin to free yourself from mental slavery is to speak out. Speak out the things that you have experienced yourself in your life that you have personally went through. The other thing is this: challenge your own thinking. See, be honest with yourself. Be honest. If you've truly went through something, speak about it. If you have not went through it, then don't talk from that place, because it will not be from a place of integrity. Pay attention to the thoughts that you have. Learn to observe, hey, is this story true or not true? Is this belief I have true or not true? Is this thought that I'm having true or not true? Because a lot of times these feelings get wrapped up in these. And so instead of being true, it's a half truth. And when it's a half truth, that means there's feelings wrapped up in this place. The other thing is be aware of the words. Be aware of the words that you are speaking to yourself. Be aware of the words that you are communicating. See, oftentimes the words that we use tell us the commitment that we are making. They tell us what we're truly thinking. And many times these words, they disempower us. And so whether things have happened to you or haven't happened to you, if you are a victim to specific words, it is going to be impossible for you to create something different in your life. The other thing is this, is learn to understand if your ego's speaking or if you're truly speaking from your heart. And I think a lot of times right now is, we're looking at a place where, I really believe our egos are in control of a lot of what we're saying and a lot of what we're doing. You're right. You're wrong. I'm right. And when I believe this is if you're more focused on trying to be right, that's driven by your ego versus getting what you truly want in life. And I think if we can turn the focus on, hey, what do we actually want? And what is the mission that I'm after? And what am I speaking from? Versus, am I trying to state my opinion to be right? That is all driven by ego. And that is a scary place for us to be. See, having an opinion is one thing, but wanting to be right all the time is another. And I think we have to open our minds up and be open to change the way we think, the way that we receive things, and whether we believe what someone else says, they can still have the opportunity to, state their opinion. They can still have the opportunity to say what they want. And that's okay. The other thing is question authority. What does that mean? That means many of the leaders that we have in our country, we need to question who we're truly following. We need to question who is the person that I will truly follow, and are they speaking the truth? Because here's what I know. Many times the people that are the most corrupt are the people up in highest positions. I won't speak specifically who those can be, but I will say this is there's an inconsistency in leadership today. And if we're following leaders who may not have the same beliefs that we have, then we need to start questioning the authority. If we're following people who may not have the same beliefs, the same thoughts that we have, then we need to start questioning who we are truly following. And I'll even say this, like many of you are listening to a podcast right now, but question your own beliefs, your own thoughts. The people that you follow, if they are not in alignment with the things that you believe, it doesn't mean you won't listen to them. It just means, hey, I'm going to do some deeper investigating into my own thoughts. And many times the things that I may say to you, question the authority of those, but go seek them for yourself. The other thing is this, question habits. Question the habits that you may have around your thinking. Maybe the habits that you have are, hey, I'm constantly thinking in this way, in this pattern, and this is a habit for me. When someone says something that frustrates me, this is kind of where I go. And so begin to question the habits. Begin to question, maybe fear. Maybe some of these things is, hey, I've believed a certain way for so long that I'm just going to continue to believe that way. Or I could actually start questioning some of the things that I may habitually do or habitually say. Because I think a lot of times out of fear, we, just keep choosing to believe the same thing because we don't want to admit, hey, I may, these things may not be true for me. But the one thing that I know is this, the number one way you're going to free yourself from mental slavery is to begin to speak out the things that maybe you have believed, the things that you've believed, the things that you've thought, and begin to question those, not from a place of, hey, I'm right, I'm wrong, but from a place of, hey, maybe there's a different perspective I may have on this. But here's the one thing that I know. The only way you're going to free yourself from this mental slavery is to actually grab the key yourself. You don't need permission from anybody other than yourself to unlock the door. But if somebody else unlocks the door for you, consider that they have the key. And not only do they have the key, but they have the permission. And if they have the permission and they have the key, that will be their result, not yours. And then you will constantly look at them to help you unlock this door and to help you free yourself from mental slavery. And you will never learn how to do it yourself. And so the number one way you can do it yourself, free yourself from this place, is to unlock the door. And only you can truly do that with your own key. So I want to thank you guys for being on here today. If you're looking to connect with a group of like-minded people, join myself and so many others in the Habit-Based Lifestyle Secrets group on Facebook, where we will be, talking about habits. We'll talk about hacks. We'll talk about how to optimize any area of your life. If you're looking to connect further, feel free to reach out to me, Jesse at habitbasedlifestyle.com. And then I also have a new service to where we can actually stay connected and be part of a behind the scenes look. And you can reach out to me at this number, 949-506-5791, and just text habits, and then we can be connected on a more regular basis. I want to thank you guys for being in here. Have a great day.
The purpose of this show is to guide you to realign with habits that get you to live the life you've always dreamed of. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with Jesse